All right, so you guys have finished your activity for the breakout session, the first breakout session. So I just want to go over a few things. You guys had to conjugate some verbs, werden, into different sentences. How did it go? Does anyone want to share? Ashley?
It went pretty well for me.
Okay. Do you mind saying if you got a lot right or how you were feeling about the
It seemed pretty easy for me. I actually got all of them right.
Okay. So our first one was das Buch blank gelesen. What did you pick and why? Abigail?
I just picked Verd because it was the conjugation for das Buch, which was RCS.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So the third person as yes, singular, and you said wird. So that would be the correct conjugation. Were there any you didn't pick wird for? Anyone? Ashley?
I didn't pick that for die Schule.
Okay, what did you pick instead?
Werden,
Why?
because die Schule is plural, so it has to be in the sie conjugation.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a plural one. So you said sie. So we're thinking third person plural, and that would conjugate as werden. What about the last two? The one that says ich blank von Zombies gegessen. I picked that one intentionally because it's kind of funny and weird. Abigail.
I picked Varda because it was a conjugation for ich.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little different because we're using ich in the passive. So ich werde von Zombies gegessen. I'm being eaten by zombies. All right. So we can add who's doing it if we add the by part. And you'll notice that we added that in that sentence with von, which we know to mean from or of. All right. So I will have obviously received those grades in my email and I'll be able to go over them. Are there any questions at this point about werden or the passive? If not, you're welcome to give me a smiley face. If there are, you're welcome to raise your hand. Three of four. All right, we're up to four now. All right, so we have four smileys. I'm going to move on. All right, the next slide is blank. What do we know about past participles? I want you guys to write down whatever you can think of. You're welcome to collaborate by talking out loud, or you can just jot things down. And if you see people typing what you're writing, then we can just keep going. So we have gestemmt. Yeah. All right, so with helping verbs, talking about present perfect, sein und haben. Anything else at all? All right, mixed. I see Abby mentioned mixed. Will be ga stem change with a T. Thanks for adding your name, Abby. Abigail Mitchell, that is. And Morgan, they always go at the end of the sentence. Yeah. Good. All right, so that pretty much covers everything. The only thing we really didn't cover is strong verbs, and as we know, we can't really put that into a good statement. So, having said that, there are strong verbs and they will change really without us knowing how they're going to change. So we just have to memorize them. All right, so I do have some infinitives on the left side of this diagram for you guys. And on the right side, you just need to write a past participle. So I will have Abby, with all the B's in her name, do the past participle for machen, Abigail for essen, Ashley for spielen, and Morgan for bügeln. If you're not quite sure, that's all right. Give it your best shot. Ja, gut. I figured that was just a mistake.
How do I get an umlaut?
That is a great question. So you can either do it by going to german.typeit.org, or for the sake of time, you can always just type an E after it. All right, so looking down our list, we have gemacht, which we know should be from machen, a regular verb. So we just take our en, drop it off, add our ge to the front, and our t to the end, just like we said on the previous slide. A couple people mentioned the ge and the t at the end, plus our stem. In our second one, we have essen changing to gegessen. So a good example of a strong verb or an irregular. Our next one is spielen, changing to gespielt, again a regular. And our last one, bügeln. This one is a strange verb. It looks weird and it's spelled a little strangely. Bügeln is actually also regular, even though it might not look like it should be. So I'm going to type this one down next to where Morgan was typing. I'm also going to use the UE instead of an umlaut. And that's what that one looks like. It's kind of strange, but it is still regular. Gebügelt. All right, so nice job, everyone. Past participles can be tricky, especially if you either haven't seen or haven't seen for a while the verbs, the infinitives, that is, to know how to make them. All right, so we will see some of these repeat in the other activities. So moving on, we have some translations to do. On this slide, English is on the left side, German's on the right. This time, let's have Morgan give one of the German ones a try. Let's have Abigail do one of the English ones, Ashley one of the German ones, and Abby one of the English ones. So both Abbies try to put the German ones into English. So either das Buch wird gelesen or das Spiel wird gespielt. And then Morgan and Ashley, one of the two English ones to German. The beans are being cooked or the photo is being taken. If you're not sure of a noun, you're welcome to ask me or even check one of our dictionaries, Leo or Lingue or something like that. All right, so let's take a look at these. We have the beans are being cooked. Die Bohnen werden gekochen. Kochen is actually a regular verb. So Morgan, do you know how you would change that? Ja, gut. You're a step ahead of me. All right, so die Bohne. Bohne is singular. Any idea how to change that? Not quite. Good guess. It's a little simpler than that. So we're actually going to just take the ja. Exactly. Take the E and add an N. Bohnen. So die Bohnen werden gekocht would be correct. All right, good job with the corrections, Morgan. Next one is the book is being read. We have that by Abby, and that's das Buch wird gelesen. The photo is being taken. Das Foto wird gemacht. And our next one, the game is being played. Das Spiel wird gespielt. All right, and those are all looking good. All right, any questions at this point? Smiley face if you don't have any. Okay, dankeschön. All right, for this one, we're not going to do breakout sessions, but I would like you to access it, and I will, again, post that link for you in the chat. It's going to be a new one, or you're welcome to access it from Conjugamos if you're still in there. All right, so this activity is involving sentence writing, similar to what we just did, some translations. There are 3 sentences. So I want you guys to take some time just to work on that. I'll give you a couple minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. When you finish, you can give me a smiley face. Danke, Ashley. Danke, Abigail. Danke, Morgan. Und Abby, Dankeschön. All right, so anyone want to share a sentence that they wrote for this activity? Abigail.
So for the first question, I had Die Hausaufgaben werden gemacht.
All right. So, die Hausaufgaben werden gemacht, where the homework is being done. And what made you pick werden?
Well, I knew that Hausaufgaben was plural, so I picked werden because it was the plural form of the verb.
Good. All right, so we picked werden because Hausaufgaben in German is plural, so we say something like the homeworks are done or are being done in German, whereas in English it's not quite the same. All right, so thank you for sharing, Abigail. We are moving on to our homework and upcoming events. So one of your assignments is to find a video in German or a news article in German containing an example of the passive voice, and then you can post that in the Google Classroom assignment. There is a passive voice quiz on Conjugamos. You should have that completed by Friday, February 16th. It's called a Das Passiv quiz, and that is also going to be posted in Google Classroom, but it can be accessed, the quiz itself can be accessed from Conjugamos. So when you're in the Conjugamos program, you should be able to find it from the class list for the activities. The last thing, make sure you're checking your grades on Skyward and completing any missing work. Otherwise, you guys are good to go. There's just a ticket out the door for you to complete yet. What I want you to do is create one sentence using passive voice in German with the English translation and submit it in the chat to me before you head out. So you can write that in the chat directly to me. Once you're finished, you are welcome to leave the session. Dankeschön.